With seemingly massive choices throughout your entire playthrough, the sheer volume of variables in build customization is staggering. In the latest Starfield Direct showcase on June 11th, we got a lot more detailed look at all the aspects of builds in Starfield. For the first ever time, you can start to see how complex, varied, and how much replayability Starfield could have. Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from Deltiasgaming.com, and here I'm going to give you a breakdown of what the build and customizing your character could actually look like in Starfield when this game launches. I also want to show you a project we've been working on for over a year, StarfieldBuilder.com. Though it's in its early stage, this website will eventually allow you to customize and create your own Starfield builds and allow you to share it with your friends. Check the link in the description below for this website, along with our many guides and a wiki to get you ready for all the latest Starfield has to offer. Buckle up for a trip to the stars. This is how builds could work in Starfield. Character Creator. In Character Creator, you'll be able to pick a background and trait which will influence your starting skills, dialogue options, and even quest outcomes. Level. Each level will give you a skill point. Skill trees. 5 trees in total, each with 16 or more skills to select. Skill rank. Each individual skill you select, including your starting skill, will have ranks that can be increased. Weapons. 3 different broad weapon types, physical, energy, and electromagnetic, along with sub-type weapons that you would come to expect: shotguns, pistols, submachine guns, assault rifles, and so forth. All of which can be modified with up to 5 components. Armor, including damage reduction and resistance to environmental effects, including airborne efficiency. Crews and companions also have up to 4 skills aiding you inside and outside of combat. And the list goes on, and you can start to see the complexity unfold. But that's why you have me. I'm going to break it down Deltia style, showing you each little segment of this so you can clearly anticipate what it's going to be like when the game launches and how to start customizing builds. Character Creator is up first. In Starfield's Character Creators features a robust set of choices to alter not only your appearance but your starting skills and optional traits. During character creation, you'll see the image of your character and alter the style of the body, face, and eventually move to the background where things start to get interesting. Backgrounds can be explained as your character's starting class. This setting will determine your 3 starting skills and how the game's environment and NPC characters will react and interact with your character. As we know from previous Bethesda titles, what skills and which path you decide next is completely up to you. Let's work towards creating a stealth build because you know everyone likes to sneak around. So what we've seen so far, we do know a little bit about Cyberrunner, and that's the one we're going to pick first. Cyberrunner's background. The 3 starting skills you get are as follows. Stealth. You value discretion above everything else, and while undetected, deal extra damage with silenced weapons. We currently don't have all the details of this skill, but the next one we do. Security. Ability to break codes and bypass security and locking mechanisms. Once you select, you can see the ranking up system by completing challenges and essentially using the skill in game. It goes from rank 1 all the way up to rank 4. You rank up the skill by completing challenges, again, using the skill in game. And last up, we have theft. While not entirely honorable and certainly not legal, it is nonetheless occasionally necessary to discreetly remove property from someone's person. This background is the prototypical choice for a stealth-type character with an origin story that really gives to the roleplay ability of creating this character and seeing how the game unfolds with your decisions and choices. Speaking of NPCs reacting to you, we get an example of this from Starfield Direct when someone picked the background of Chef.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
But we're not done with Character Creator yet. It's going to get even more complex with traits. Players can select up to 3 attributes from a wide list of traits to further shape their character. Each provide unique advantages and disadvantages, and thus traits are optional. However, some traits cannot be combined with others. For example, having the trait like introvert cannot be combined with extrovert. I mean, who likes to go out in public anyways, am I right? An example of trait selection from Starfield Direct was Kid Stuff. Your character can visit their alive parents, and 2% of all money players earn will be deducted and sent to their parents. The footage even shows you visiting your parents and what a typical interaction may look like.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
Now this adds a lot of variety in storytelling and questing, but what about builds? What about performance? What about getting powerful? I'm glad you asked. Let's look at another example of a trait that might benefit our build template for a stealth player, and that's hero worship. You've earned the attention of an annoying, adoring fan who will show up randomly and jabber at you incessantly. He'll join your ship's crew and give you gifts and pretty much annoy you all the time. What's interesting about this character is in the top right, upon confirming him as a part of your crew, you notice the 3 starting skills, one of which being concealment. This is the 4th tier physical skill, and while we don't have the exact tooltips, concealment would likely deal with hiding and could possibly be a perfect crew to bring along in combat situations. Most likely traits will be more of a performance disadvantage, and the developers have confirmed you can remove these and they are not permanent choices to your character. As the game unfolds, we will find new and unique ways to take advantage of backgrounds and traits, and so far our stealthy, cyber runner, and adoring fan are a great start. Moving along to leveling in skills. Just like any RPG, you earn levels by gaining experience from a variety of sources. I imagine most of this will work similar to Fallout and Skyrim series. Kill mud crabs, explore the map, complete quests. Standard stuff, rinse and repeat here. Each level you receive 1 skill point to sets. We currently don't know if there's a level cap in the game, and from this footage, we've seen level 75 monsters, so one can assume the levels go on indefinitely, or at least to this point. Expect to spend a lot of skill points as you progress from one of the 5 skill trees, in a similar layout to Fallout 4. The 5 skill trees are as follows. Combat, focus primarily on weapons and weapon upgrades, increasing the overall damage of each weapon type. Social, help you interact with other NPCs and persuade them or even manipulate them to your liking. Tech, focus on your ability to control and utilize advanced technology in combat, ships, outposts, and exploration. Physical, focus on improving character base stats such as health, stamina, endurance, increasing character survivability and damage reduction. Science can improve your character, medic, exploration abilities, and technology. Science also focuses on crafting times, unlocking more recipes, and research. Each skill tree has 4 ranks of progression, most likely requiring you to spend a certain amount of skill points in order to get to the next tier. So you're going to want to logically map out what skills you need to take to get the most out of your build, or check my website, Deltiasgaming.com. Let's take a look at a couple we know that might be a great fit for our stealth character we are creating. Social skill rank 2, Intimidation, the ability to strike fear into an opponent, causing them to flee so you can escape or attack first, and it can be proved critical in battle. As you can see, as this skill ranks up, you can intimidate higher ranking NPCs and they flee for a longer time. Another one we've seen is Security. As you rank up this skill, you will have access to hack higher level locks and more auto attempts with the chance to bypass puzzles. Praise Talos, stop with the puzzles. And lastly, we have Ballistics. Simply level this up to do more damage with physical or ballistic style weapons. In the combat tree, we also find sniper certification. In the physical tree, we also find stealth and concealment. Remember that skill that the adoring fan had. So as you can see, skills, progression, and mapping out your character, super critical. Moving on to another element we hadn't really seen in detail, and that's weapon customization. Next up, we get weapon customization, which ties into crafting system on your ship and or outpost. From the details we've received, there appears to be 3 types of broad weapon categories: physical, energy, and electromagnetic. From these 3 weapon types, you get your usual suspects when it comes to guns: shotguns, rifles, snipers, pistols, submachine guns, and some heavy minigun machine action. Electromagnetic weapons, or mag weapons, look incredible and are sure to be something to experiment with. We also get a brief look at weapon customization options, and it looks very similar to Fallout 4. There seems to be 5 slots of what you'd expect to modify with: sights, scopes, magazine, muzzle, grips, barrels, and ammunition. The ammunition stuck out to me in combat gameplay footage. We see both human NPCs and robots, but having a gray bar above their head, assuming it's armor. The armor-piercing ammunition seems to penetrate this and might be vitally important to mod a weapon for robot combat. Because from the footage, we didn't see a health bar, just a gray bar above their head. To take down these robots, will you have to have AP ammunition? We don't know, but there's a lot more to weapon customization than what we originally saw, and even the developers themselves said this has the most mods of any Bethesda title. Moving along to something I know a lot of people will be excited about, and that's sneak and stealth. Staying to our templated character based on stealth, I wanted to highlight the ability to sneak, stealth, and do critical damage. Like any Skyrim player, you've probably found the cheese bow build with huge sneak attack damage. Well, that appears to be in Starfield too. From the footage, we can see sneak and stealth mechanics. For sneaking around, you'll see a hidden bar dead center middle of the compass. The bar contracts and expands based on detection, and I'm sure there are skills you can acquire to help augment and aid in this department. We also get a glimpse of a silencer pistol taking out a room full of enemies while remaining hidden. You also see a modifier in the top right of the screen showing 2.1x sneak damage. So yes, expect a hyper cheesy sneak attack one-shot crit build that will destroy everything in Starfield, and I'm sure we'll have it on you-know-what website, Deltiasgaming.com. We also finally saw a critical strike pop-up without numbers. This appeared to be red throughout the footage off and on and does not seem to correlate to specific headshots but more weapon types, and could possibly be a modification or a skill to allow you to have a crit multiplier which may or may not stack with, well, sneak attack damage. I'm sure we'll find out and manipulate this and do big one-shot damage. Moving along to more items we have up next, and that's armor. You'll sure want to collect fancy new shiny armor because Bethesda really invested in their over-the-shoulder third-person view. Look good, play good, am I right? From the footage we've seen, you can see the overall inventory of a player. Spacesuits, packs, helmets, and maybe apparel will likely be a huge part of customizing your build. Each piece of armor has damage reduction, resistance for physical, energy, and electromagnetic. Also some unique environmental values like thermal, airborne, corrosive, radiation. Remember, Starfield's going to have 1,000 or more planets to explore, and many of which are randomly generated and not all will be friendly to carbon-based life. The value that's most interesting here is airborne. We already know that Starfield will have jetpack boosting and even a skill to increase the effectiveness. Moreover, the footage showed a variety of planets with half of the gravity of Earth and making the character appear to fly and zip around while airborne. Yet another opportunity for a build, Airborne Ranger, I see you in my future. The footage also showed what a legendary item might look like, Incendiary Calibrated Deep Mining Space Helmet. This has 3 unique passives, all of which are incredibly impactful. Tactician, minus 15 damage from robot enemies. Hacker, +2. Max auto attempts that can be banked while hacking. Incendiary, 10% chance to ignite nearby attackers. And that's one piece of gear that can dramatically increase your character's power and strength. I imagine these perks are randomly generated or some for static main story quests. So finding the right combination of armor, weapon, skills, background, and so on is going to be critical to really fit your build archetype. But wait, there's more, and that's companion and crew. You're not going to be alone in space, we're talking about companions, and in Starfield they will have a big story element, with many interesting backgrounds and personalities you can discover through personalized side quests. With time, as your relationship blooms and grows, some may even be available to romance. Crews are essentially a lower tier sidekick that also have skills to aid you, but don't expect nearly the robust storytelling elements as companions. Either can be used in a variety of ways, like maintaining your outposts and ships, and maybe aiding you in combat. Take Sam Coe, a former space cowboy who joins you during the main story quest. His skills are piloting, rifle certification, payloads, geology. We also see information about Barrett, Sarah Morgan, and Bosco, the robotic companion featured in previous videos. Speaking of Bosco, he doesn't seem like a logical choice for a stealth type build. You know, running around with a robot, cracking jokes and shooting everyone with a laser beam. Bosco, put your laser beam down! But like Bethesda games, having a stealthy sidekick or a melee aggressive companion take the heat off you while you're at range will further aid in your character's builds and customizations. As you can see, the sheer variety in builds, customizations, options is clearly limitless. If you got something out of this video, look, do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, and just share it with another Starfield fan because I want this information to get out. And also do me a big favor, StarfieldBuilder.com. We're spending a lot of time, a lot of energy making this the #1 home for everyone in the community to make and share their own builds. Bookmark that page, check the link in the description. Last plug, I promise, check me on twitch.tv/Deltiasgaming, where my mom claims I'm the best streamer alive. Appreciate you.